do actually. But I'm on the positive end of it,
And do you have your occupancy permit?
oh, darn close. I mean, basically,
That's not what we asked. We said that before we take you up, you have to come in with your occupancy permit. Fortunately, I didn't know you were on the agenda. Fortunately for you, I didn't know you were on the agenda. And wasn't asked, so that's why you're here.
Mm-hmm.
But Ed, did you want to?
We're getting real close, just like Ron said. I think health did approve today, fire I believe approved today. Plumbing's down to like 3 items on their list, and then electric and building are going in there tomorrow for their final inspections. So, and electric didn't think that there was going to be anything that really held them up. They thought everything was going pretty smooth right now. So, like he said, he is getting pretty close.
Well, that's not what we said, but
Mr. Chair, I just don't think we act on anything until we have an occupancy permit, and not we're close.
well, based on the, if I may speak, I should ask.
go ahead.
It'd be detrimental to my business to not be open sometime in March, because March and April are the busiest months in our business, and we are done. So I'm going to make a recommendation that if the public hearing that I'm asking for can be dismissed if we don't have the building department okayed within 7 to 10 days.
Okay, let me just, we all know you, this is a petition for the public hearing. This isn't for the actual license. It's not, this doesn't mean we're gonna okay the license.
Right.
It just means, that's all this is, it's really not for the license, just make everybody aware. So what he's saying is that we vote this subject to him getting that before the public hearing?
Mr. Chair?
All the way.
So what's the timing? So is it a 30-day notice on the public hearing?
It's a 7-day notice,
7-day notice on the public hearing?
so he could have the public hearing March 5th.
Okay. Or he could conceivably have a special council meeting with the public hearing? I mean, our next scheduled meeting is March 5th.
No, because we have to get it to the paper, which will be next week, Wednesday, and then
Okay.
we'll be following that.
So the soonest that there could be a public hearing on exceeding the quota would be March 5th.
Correct.
And then after that, when would be the soonest the license could be granted?
Same night. Same night.
Oh, so it's not till the next day when the mayor signs.
Correct.
Yeah, Mr.
Well,
Chair.
it will be issued.
It would be issued the next day, so it'd be
Granted
that, March 5th is a Tuesday. I
Correct.
believe it's Fat Tuesday. So the soonest he could be open would be that
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Having a public hearing doesn't put us in any box whatsoever. We don't have to approve anything just because we have a public hearing. We're just allowing the person to have the public hearing that they request. So there really is no harm in having the public hearing, but we don't have to approve anything if we don't have the occupancy and we don't have all the other stuff.
I forgot, I do need to point out one thing. Ed's building inspector was out today. Otherwise, he might have been over there today to inspect, so just want to bring all the facts up here.
And Mr. Chair, I guess what I'm saying is I don't mind having the public hearing. I don't think we need to have the occupancy to have the public hearing. I think we would want to have full occupancy before we grant the license. But just to have the hearing, there's no harm that I could think of in doing that. And then I have a quick question. Aren't we at quota?
That's what the hearing
That's
is
what
for.
this is for.
Oh, yeah,
Exceed
exceed.
quota.
Over quota, yeah.
Exceed quota.
You're right.
Does anybody else have anything? Do I have a motion?
I move we move forward with a public hearing.
Second.
Okay. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, then, let's see, Saigon, Saigon? Thank you. Want to come up here?
Item 42?
Yes, item 42. The reason we called you in is that, it's been a long time since you had your license, or we okayed your license and everything, and I understand you've ran into numerous problems with the building and everything. We just want looking to give us a timetable, some sort of timetable. What are you looking at that you'd be opening?
I think they've told me that they expect to be open by the end of this month, but I think it might be smart to say the 15th of March, just because they had a couple of
Because of
pipes
everything that happened
burst.
already.
Yeah, but if you go by there, the booths are in, the tables, it's all set up, the kitchen's all in, it's ready to go. They just need to. You had the electrical inspector was out there, and he added a couple of things, a couple of like exit lights or something small. And the plumbing final inspection was scheduled, I think.
I think he told us that he probably call in this week for final inspection. Like I said, everything's in, the kitchen's ready. Just a few more items for final inspections, and we should all set to go.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions?
Sure. I just appreciate the updates that we're getting.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, is kind of let you know. I mean, if they could,
Didn't the roof come in at one point, and then
something happened with the roof.
the roof and
The
the
roof
water?
was leaking, and
Yeah, the roof was leaking, and then the pipe, when it got to the 50 below wind chills a couple of weeks ago, then a couple of pipes broke. I think the cold affected the heat system, it sounded like, and then that
Yeah.
caused the pipes to break. So yeah, anything that could go wrong, I think has. So they should be able to
You better not
get
on
that.
wood.
Yeah, don't buy
You
any
never
lottery
say,
tickets.
you never say that. What are you talking about? So,
But we look forward to it.
okay, this is only a communication.
Yeah, that's just a communication to let you know, because
Right.
we were trying to get it open sooner, and
Right.
that's the thing. It's not open yet, but to the extent that it's not open, when we had talked about getting it open, we wanted to keep you aware of what's going on. That they, just didn't want you to think we abandoned the project.
Well, no, and that's, I know. I totally, I've been through that, so I know all the things that come up that you don't realize and you don't budget for either, so.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
so,
Move to place on file.
Second.
any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thanks for the.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Cheyenne Her. Cheyenne Her. And her, Cheyenne and her. Okay.
That's the first one,
I think so, yeah. 218, yeah. Joseph
Usalaki.
Usalaki? Oh, I should know that one.
Yeah.
It's a name.
My algebra teacher in ninth grade was Joseph.
Really? Same first name?
Probably been buried for years, too. So,
Longfellow. Tosa, in Tosa.
okay, this is a new application. You don't know where you're gonna be working
Yes,
yet?
I do actually start at just Jay's on 9033 West National Avenue.
Okay.
Right.
And you know why you're here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that was, let's see.
Mr. Chair,
All in one.
so we're looking at a felony and the conviction was in September of 2017.
Yes, and I'm still fighting this conviction because what the possession was considered to be in the felony stance was, and any other standpoint in Wisconsin is considered to be 3.5 grams, and there was 0. And in the state of, or in Waukesha, this is something that actually my case has been changed, and they're no longer seeing these. I've done above and beyond. I've went through a year of 4-day classes every week. I've done everything above and beyond.
So, I'm sorry, what was the drug?
It was opiate, an opiate, a use of opiate. And what it was it wasn't at the time. It was just a bad decision, and that bad decision has haunted me now from this, and I'm carrying like an anchor. And
I guess I don't know what 3.5 grams is. That personal use, or is that
From,
is it a
just-
felony because it's considered sale? weight?
it was just in any case now in Waukesha, it no matter what, if you have it or if you don't have it, it's considered a felony charge, and that's only in Waukesha. And I was living in Pewaukee, right by Western Lakes Golf Course. I also was running 2 other bars at the time, and I'm also a professional caddy at Erin Hills. I have now yet since moved back to West Allis, and I wanted to start bartending weekends and doing things here. But I had to get through this year process. This actually was going to get it was going to get completely expunged off my record. I would have been the first one to go through this process and get this expunged. We've been to 3 different, 4 different cases on this, and every judge has been keep pushing off, and no one wants to try it because I would have been the first one actually to get through the program with flying colors. The people in the programs actually showed up with me. They wrote emails on behalf. They said if I have no prior record of anything, this is just like I said, one dumb mistake, and I'm actually taking it to the governor, wrote letters, because this has now become an anchor on me with something that in a regular standpoint, I don't know what 3.5 grams looks like. I know 3.5 is from when there's 0 to 3.5, and to be carried a felony possession charge, I look like now I was dealing drugs. I was doing something in a standpoint if you're looking at it on a piece of paper. And that's why actually the judge that took my case, Maxwell, is no longer taking cases. They will no longer let anybody do this program because of the success rate. But I would have been the first one. I don't have an issue with this. I went through with flying colors. Like I said, I was the first person that anybody through the Dairy Port Center, the program I went through. The head lady went on my behalf to every court case on this because they were looking for convictions and whatnot in the DA's standpoint. And I don't understand it.
So you don't have a letter from anybody from this
I
program?
can have
saying-
emails. Yeah, I have emails and stuff sent through I can get from my attorney. I didn't know. I have emails stating from them that this was a bad mistake. I do have them all from the head report center that I went through. I do. I can.
Are you working at Just Jay's right now?
Yes.
All right, so you're working with another bartender under their direction?
Well, when I came through in the beginning, when I talked to you about the licensing, I am working underneath somebody else's right now.
Not somebody else's license.
No,
they're
no.
there.
There's
on the premises.
someone on there in the premises that
You're
has a
working under their
license.
direction.
Yes, mainly just because Friday and Saturdays nights become so busy. And it's a female there. They were able to have a male there too with her until closing and become safety issue. And so I've been starting to do that every now and then on a Tuesday night. Same thing on a Tuesday night. I'm there with another bartender, and I'm never the one that actually closes. I'll be the first one to be cut.
Mr. Chair, what type of sentence did you serve, or is this
I
a
had no.
pending appeal? Or
I've
what's
had
going
no
on?
sentence. I had the probation. I served my probation. I have 6 more months left, but I go every 1 or 3 months, like depending on what she wants. Her caseload, she says, so big that me never having a prior offense, and she actually used to work for Waukesha, my probation officer.
So what's your total time of extended supervision?
If it gets cleared, it will be 6 months. upon
No,
compliance.
from when you
How
started
much did I
extended
start in?
supervision.
Oh, I've done over. I'm on 1 year and 6 months so far.
A year
that
and
I've
6
done.
months, and then you
And
have
that
another
was-
6 months left. You think, or I don't.
Yes,
don't
if
follow.
I do 6 months left,
So a year and 6 months plus 6 months, that equals 2 years.
that would have been 2 years. Yes,
You
sir.
were sentenced to 2 years extended supervision.
Yes, sir.
Is that correct?
It was actually 3, but what it is because 2 years I would be granted to have it dismissed, and I would because of good behavior, because I didn't have to have, haven't had anything, no negatives. I've had 7 days a week calling for a drug test, that type of deal. And if everything goes good within the 2 years, the judge said the last year gets dropped. So I have 6 months left, is what I'm trying to say. And I don't know how this all works, so I've never been in trouble before. I don't understand the wording or how that works. I just know.
Could would it be a hardship if we waited 2 weeks to approve this? And that would give, if you could get us those emails, some sort of
absolutely.
testimony about it?
Absolutely not.
But I don't know what people, what the consensus is.
To the clerk? To the clerk's office.
Yeah, to the clerk's office.
Okay.
And then we would take it up at our March 5th meeting.
Okay.
Statement from your probation or parole or extended supervision officer saying what you're saying she says.
Okay.
That's
And
what I would
then
look for.
the stuff from the who I was with before, all the stuff that I brought to court with, the emails stating I went.
Well, we
to-
don't need 50 documents.
Okay.
Yeah, just something that testifies to what you've said, that
Absolutely.
that this is an unusual case and the world's changing. And
Absolutely.
so
Okay.
Can I still work?
well,
As I'm doing?
your license
you're
has not
doing,
been
yes.
not been approved.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't realize it.
You can
but
still
yes.
work under the supervision of a licensed bartender as you have been.
Okay.
So if they had you on the schedule for closing alone Friday night,
No,
it's
I
time to
didn't.
change it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, but we'll take it up on March 5th, and if it's approved, get us those emails within a week, as soon as you can.
Yes, sir.
Or get it to the city clerk's office, and then we'll take it up on March 5th, and then the soonest it would be approved would be at that meeting, and the soonest you'd have the license actually in your hand would be the next day, assuming you came and picked it up.
Do I come to the March 5th?
That'd be smart.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I would say so.
Okay.
Okay. I'll see you then.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
I can just drop it off. I'm around the corner.
Yeah.
Amanda Rumchek? Okay. You're the one, you have
I just had tickets. I need to bring in
your
payment
tickets
plan
and
copy.
you owed money. You owed money. And so you have the form saying that is now paid for?
I have the payment plan confirmation, which is what you guys had asked for in the letter. Because I called the clerk because I was trying to just pay then, and they said that I actually couldn't pay through them anymore because it went to collection. So I called the number she gave me, and that is the form.
So you're saying that it is paid?
No, I'm on a payment plan, but that's what it was
That's what
asking me
that
to
is-
do.
You're saying that that's what that is saying.
Right.
So do
I'm
you
not-
have a
I'm not an
valid
attorney,
driver's
so-
license now? How did you get here today?
I know.
Okay. There's a number of things, let's see. You have a number of things on your record. Let's see. Okay. Terminal license. You're well suspended. Instruction. Okay, Marty.
Where can you be working?
Ally. On 66th and Grant.
Because that's not on your application.
Oh, well, when I did it, I was kind of in a hurry, and actually, that's the day that they hired me in the first place. Was when I came here.
And on your application, you only put down 2 offenses: driving without a license in Watertown, and driving
Well, I
without
wasn't sure what
insurance.
my tickets were through here at the time, anyway. And I mean, I figured you guys could tell me that anyway, you know. But they're all on my payment plan as of now. Yeah.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay, see, one reason why we ask about all these, various things that you have on your insurance, operating, all suspended, operating, all suspended,
It's all
operating,
driving
suspended.
for the most part.
You know, is that, you know, you get a driver's license with a lot of rules and regulations.
Right.
And you obviously care about the rules and regulations. So your license, your bartender's license has rules and regulations too. We figure, since you're showing that you're not carrying what they
Well,
said,
I've paid it
that
off
you may not
before I
say
got mine
what we said.
reinstated.
You know, the rules and regulations about our license. So that's why we're concerned about that, so. But,
Mr. Chair.
hold on.
Yeah, I echo what Alderman Trepleski is saying. I want to say the same thing a little bit of a different way. It is an issue when people come before us with multiple violations for operating while suspended. That tells us that's an individual that is choosing which laws to obey and which laws to not obey, and is generally not obeying the law. And our bartenders have to obey the laws. That's an important thing. However, in your case, the last operating while suspended was in 2014.
Right.
That's going on 5 years ago. You were driving in 2017. That was compulsory insurance.
And I had my license then, though.
And you did have your license
Yes.
then. Okay, that's helpful. It was 4 operating while suspended citations in the past. Since the last one is going back to 2014, and you seem to be following the law now, you don't have any recent operating while suspended citations. I'm going to move approval, Mr. Chair.
A second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Alderman Weigel.
you bartend somewhere now, you have experience?
Yes, Allis. And I used to
Before
work at Lynch's, on Highway 100.
Okay, so you're familiar with the rules?
Mhm.
Can't serve people that are intoxicated?
Yep, get everybody out before bar
Close
close.
at times, not a suggestion?
I've been doing this forever, yeah. I know what I'm doing.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried.
Thanks for coming in.
Thanks.
Okay, then we have item number 33.
Move approval subject to necessary requirements.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Then we have item 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40 on tonight's agendas. These are various reports from the police department.
Would place on file.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
All right, the Administration and Finance Committee will come to order. All 5 members are present. Item 8, a resolution approving the gifting of K-9 Sunny from the West Dallas Police Department.
Approval.
Second.
A motion from Alderman Rote and a second from Alderman Weigel. And is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Item 9, resolution to set a schedule of fees for the city of West Allis.
Move
And
approval.
we have a motion from
Second.
Alderman May and a second from Alderman Weigel. Any discussion? Rebecca, can you just explain, this is the new, better way of doing this, please?
Yes, and I'll actually turn it
Good to
over
see,
to the
yeah.
clerk who put this all together, but this is a different way of dealing with the fees, and Steve can speak to that.
So we brought up Mr. Chair, may I?
Please, please.
So we brought this up to you a meeting or 2 ago, so you're somewhat familiar. Currently, all of the fees are scattered throughout the ordinance, and every time you want to change a fee, you would have to amend the ordinance, which is somewhat costly, time-consuming publication fees. By taking it out of the ordinance and placing it into one document, you remove those costs. You're also putting it in one central document that is helpful for you, for the staff, as well, and most importantly, the public. So once we get this document adopted, I'll be sending it off to communications, who will pretty it up, and then we'll put a version with the same content, just better looking, on the city website. Going forward, there's going to have to be ordinance changes, obviously, to take out the fees from the ordinance and reference a fee schedule. So every time you need to amend a fee, we simply adopt another resolution to amend the previous resolution. Like I said, better with time and energy. I wanted to point out a couple things. The fees that we took out were exactly the same as what they are in the ordinance, with the exception of a couple. And you got the edited versions, so you saw the late fees for the dog licenses. That is a change because state law actually allows only $5, and we've been charging a different amount. So I'm correcting that. And then Ed left. He's got.
Behind you, he's your 6 o'clock.
He's inconspicuous. He has a number of fees. The other thing I wanted to point out, now that we have this one document and one resolution, this committee will now be reviewing all of the fees. So I just want to make everyone understand that. Previously in the past, because it was within the ordinance, yeah, depending on which committee controlled which ordinance or which chapter.
Yeah. That's me, power
So it's
upgrade.
financial matter, goes to administration and finance. And like I said, going forward, we're going to have to do some code amendments. We're kind of taking the approach that we're kind of waiting for some other bigger, more important issues for those particular ordinances or sections of the code to make those changes. But after a certain point in time, we're going to have to do one mass update to just reference the fee schedule. I'm working with the attorney on some proper language on that. I imagine in the next meeting or possibly the meeting after, you might have a couple fees that might need to be amended, which would be a good exercise in how an amendment works. The goal is to annually adopt a fee schedule, regardless if there's any changes or not. Annually, around budget time or along with the budget, you're going to adopt a fee schedule. So.
Chair.
Yes,
and
please.
then when you do it as part of the budget, then Peggy, as a comptroller, can recognize that as part of the budget process.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's any increases or more recouping of our administrative costs, that would be favorable for the budget process.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you, Steve, for all your work on this. Item 10, resolution approving the amendment to fiscal year 2019 Community Development Block Grant Action Plan to provide an additional $76,000.
Move approval.
There we go. Motion from Alderman Weigel, second from Alderman Rote. Any discussion?
Hey, Mr. Chair, I got a question.
Yes, please.
I have absolutely no problem with doing this, but how come the Community Development Block Grant Committee always sees it after the council makes the change? Why does the CDBG even have to see this then?
The council still controls how the money is spent. I mean, the block grant committee makes a recommendation like finance commission or any other commission, and then once the decisions are made, it all goes to the council. Any minor amendments go to the council. And I say a minor, according to our administrative plan, anything $100,000 can be done without public hearing. Otherwise, it has to go through the hearing process.
So this doesn't have to go back to CDBG then? Okay. Thank you. That's
Motion
good.
and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Item 11, communication from the city administrator transmitting a list of interim successors.
Move to place on file?
Thank you.
Second.
A second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Item 12, communication from the city administrator regarding request to fill upcoming vacancy as city health sealer.
Move to place on file.
That's Sally's job.
Shouldn't the city get an approval?
Information.
Does it have to approve
I think.
and place on file?
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Approve to place on file.
we should approve it. Yes.
No, she can't quit.
Congratulations in advance, Sally. We'll say it again in the future.
Shouldn't the sealer work for public works though?
That seals
Yeah.
blacktop.
Yeah. Versatile position there.
I
She does it all.
I don't even know who made a motion in a second. I'm putting down Weigel and May. All right. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. And item 13, communication from the city administrator, request to fill a vacant electrical inspector position.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion from Alderman Chaplesky.
Second.
And a second from Alderman Rote. And any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Item 13, Finance Director Comptroller Report.
Move to place on file.
Motion from Alderman May. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alderman Weigel. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. And then we have a closed session item. The closed session item is considering the employment and compensation of finalist number 1 for the position of Human Resources Director. For agenda item 1, the committee may convene in closed session pursuant to the provisions of Wisconsin State Statute, section 19.851C, for the purposes of considering employment and compensation of any public employee for which governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility. The committee may convene in open session after the completion of the closed session to consider the balance of the agenda.
Move to go in closed session.
Thank you,
Second.
Alderman May. We have a motion and a second. Alderman Rope.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Aye.
Alderman Chableski. Alderman Weigel.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. We're in closed session.
Just have to wait. They're listening to 2 meetings, so I don't know.
Thank you.
I was supposed to waive. So.
Hey, that was what Bob Brown wanted to do, remember?
Well, yeah, he
Bob
said
Brown
just get,
wanted-
just get
You
people
guys
to go
see
there.
on